Well, a little fun fact about Donald. Yes, National Donald Day, would you believe? March 22. I don't know how it's taken me so long to see this one. But what an interesting idea indeed that Donald, which means world ruler, and March 22nd, of course, in America there'll be 322, 223, everywhere else. Well, of course, that is the number of the Yale Society Skull and Bones. Let me just say there in orange here, this guy with a smile for National Donald Day. Donald Duck Day is June 9. But yeah, see, National Donald Duck Day, June 9. But Day 4828, I don't know what that's referring to, but because of a world leader named Donald. And here's the Celtic name, world ruler. Interesting fact indeed for the 22nd of March, the 322. Now, this is a bit in sync with JD, John D. I always think of when I see this JD. And of course, Trump is DJ. But JD Vance was once Ham of L, Saturn and Ham, hamming around. And here he is here. Is it the same guy? I guess it does look a bit like the same galley guy. But of course, he had a roundtable discussion here with Dick Cheney, Vice President at the time in 2005, strange enough. But of course, this guy was at Yale, called Pawpaw or Mammal, James Bonnie Vance. Bonnie lies over the ocean. So he was James David Hamill. This is a bit like Bill Clinton, and many of the others had some strange ideas with the naming. Different names along the way. And you see James Donald Bowman in Middletown, Ohio. This reminded me of Superman in Smallville, Middletown. Yes, and Donald Ray, the Ray energy. And Scots-Irish descent, as Charlie Kirk had talked about. It's supposed to be his little childhood home in Ohio. Criticised by Francis and Leo. And said this one went to Yale, of course, and related to Peter Thiel, of course. And yes, Juris Doctor from Yale Law School. But usually they tell you what society they were in, but it doesn't state for Vance that I could see. But no doubt he had his little fraternity. And there's, of course, Scroll and Key at Yale. And no doubt a few more. But the fact that he's a Bowman. And of course, what does Bowman remind us of? Both David Bowie, the man who fell to Earth, and Dr. David Bowman. Yes, the American spacecraft Discovery 1 and the mission pilots and scientists Dr. Dave Bowman. And the other guy is Frank Poole. But Dave Bowman with Hal, and of course he's gone, yes, morning Dave, if you've ever seen the movie Mission Control. Hal has made an error, but he blames it on human error. And we can talk without Al overhearing. But Hal's able to lip read the conversation. So we're all about the AI here. But can you believe, we've got a president that bears this name. And of course, 2001 came quite an pivotal year for the world, as it were. And this guy had the movie all those years ago, and of course 1968, Night of the Living Dead, to do with Butler, where of course Trump had his event. Yes, James Donald Bowman. James, of course, being Jacob, the Cobra, the Serpent World Ruler Bowman, the Rainbow Man. August 2nd, one day after Horse's birthday. But what year? Look, 1984, another famous book. So some very interesting connections with this round-headed man with the slopes. A very interesting character, and if something happens to Trump, even for a short time, he's down after a fake sort of wound or something, Vance can be president. Skull and Bones, known as the Order 322, the Brotherhood of Death. Yeah, Brotherhood of Death. An interesting the Big Three and the Ancient Eight. Very interesting concept, 3 and 8. We see a lot of 3 and 8 together. There's a double metonic, of course, in the 3 and 8, and we have Beatrice at 38 at the moment. Somebody who also, very interesting, Beatrice, worked at Trump's Tower, and then with all that's going on about Andrew and Fergie, another interesting aspect, and Howard Lutnick being on the news, and of course Howard was a great friend of Sarah's. Yes, there's video up talking about the 3 angels. Might have been Cody, the decoding guy, who, it's a sad thing that he just can't call things properly. But he doesn't do bad research. But Natalie Harp, and of course the Harper has to do with the 7, and our famous 7 code. And this ring finger here. Yes, very interesting indeed, as we know. The long arm of the law and the short arm of the law meeting up here together. One of Trump's angels. Charlie's angels, Trump's angels. Now, a friend of mine was saying how Patton, very like Trump, and I must agree. Again, all in the batch, isn't it? I feel Vernon Presley more does fit the bill, but who knows? And who knows how closely related the Presleys are to the Pattons. But interesting day, isn't it? December 21, 12/21. So there's your 33 straight away. Get a 19 out of there. 33 and 19. 1 and 9. In case 1 plus 9, it's 10, 1. 4 plus 5, 9, 19. And of course the whole thing makes a 7. And a third army. So have the idea of 777 here. And this is the granddaughter. Very knuckly indeed. The long hands of the law here on the granddaughter. No prize there. Yes, a funny bunch indeed. It's supposed to be the great hero, but as we know, the war, strategic relocation, controlled demolition. This one is Helen Patton. But look at this one. Beatrice Patton. And here's our man himself. what would be a man, and it does certainly have a look of the Don. Very Don-like. Yes, and here we have the Gordon name. Gordon of Lennox and Hamilton fame. Yes, correspondence Patton's wife, Beatrice. Yes, and talk about David Bowie and Elvis. Gene Gordon dying on the Elvis Day, in the year that Trump was born. So there's the 157 again between there and Trump's birthday. And they said the niece had a long affair with Patton years before the war. Yes, very round, isn't it, there now in this little view, and very sloped. Old Blood and Guts himself. Certainly, we've heard Trump talk about old Blood and Guts. And he's got the Purple Heart. Beatrice Banning Aya. Yes, derived from the Latin word viator, meaning traveller, influenced by the Italian word Viagra, and meaning voyage. Beatrice imbued with a sense of exploration and adventure. Not a lot of pictures of Beatrice Banning Aya. Here's one allegedly here, and here's another one here. 9/11. Another one here, all looking a bit different in these photos. This is certain. Rather short pipe, isn't it? Short arms and a short pipe. No doubt with Richard Lester, a Dicklet. And you can see the short arms and a very femme stance there. Certainly something of a Donald in the mix here. Invasion of North Africa. Looks like some sort of comedy dude. I thought, that's not Patton. There must be Patton there. It's got the enough is enough picture like Trump there. Yes, very strange people indeed, all these ones. There's no doubt about that. And this short arm crew. They really are. Looks like Henry Kent Hewitt. Looks like George S. Patton. That must be who it is. Henry Kent. Kent like Superman. The Uberman. Well, there you go, folks. It's a bit of a rundown on the idea of Patton and Trump. But as I said, I think Vernon Presley fits the bill better. But who knows in the murky world of the elite and the TH society, as it were, the Royal Arch. All right, thanks very much, and thanks awfully, Joan, there for your extra support. And thanks to the others who support this channel, and thanks to the people who comment on these videos. Very few nowadays, but you get that. I noticed Mr. E had a video up and had a few thousand views in 12 hours and 150 comments. And just copying work I've done over a long time. But I'm not a favoured son, of course. All right, thanks very much.